was about to tell you to call me off your laptop so that way we can get straight to it because they're gonna come get me at 12:50.
I already did, my boy. Fuck you mean, cuz.
Let's go. Man, motherfucking hating ass niggas, dog. I had a bitch looking at. She said, "I got nothing but good comments."
You said they coming at 12:50.
Yeah.
All right, so we are back with Callie, an inmate in a level 5 yard up at Mount Olive, currently now sitting in segregation. So, a couple of videos we talked about things that happened on the yard, and in the past, I talked about living life in the hole, pretty much, segregation. So, go ahead and break down the daily life of being back there in segregation, because first off, how much segregation time have you done all together?
Shit, majority of my time in prison.
Year-wise.
So I came up here in 2015. I say I only got about 2 years on the yard with everything put together. So I say about 6 years back here.
On it. Back and forth.
Like every single time I hit the yard, I'll probably be out there for like 6-7 months, the longest, and then come back here for a 30 piece, 60 piece, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then unfortunately get the gram, and then be back here for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
So when you're back there, because when you're on the yard, life on the yard is completely different than life in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Because what's your daily routine? Like, what time do you wake up? Starting whenever you wake up, going forward through the day, what's your routine?
Well, it's two different types of routines, right? You got the one when you ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you ain't got shit, then that routine pretty much consists off of your trays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when breakfast come at 6:36 or whatever, you get that, eat. You know what I'm saying? Now once you already been back here for, I say, about like 2 weeks into it, then that's when you're ready to start getting your little workout routine, just to do something with your day, walk back and forth, yelling at niggas through the door, whatever. Yeah. But then, like, once you, like, when you first come back there, though, that first little 2 weeks, you just gonna be asleep. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna sleep that shit. You trying to get through the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna be, you know what I'm saying, the nightlife. All day you gonna sleep, and then you gonna be up all night screaming and shit. You feel me? And then the other half is like, once you are on the program and get deep into the gram and you get your TV and all that shit, then you're pretty much going off of like your shows that come on, or like someone like me, like I set my TV and I usually get up before breakfast to do my workout and then eat my breakfast for the workout. And then I watch the news, and I'm a news person, so I watch the news and shit, then wait for rec to come, because rec will usually be between like, well, it depends if they start on your pod, but if they start on your pod, then it'll be between like 7:20 to like 8 o'clock, 8:40. But it's not like how it was back in the day, like when you was up here, like you might go to rec in the middle of the day or some shit like that. Now it's strictly morning time. Okay. They're going to either get you in the morning, or they started some new shit where they'll come get you at 12 o'clock at night, and you fuck around, be out there 1, 2 in the morning. Like, who the fuck gonna pick the phone up at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Now, for the subscribers, you're talking about the program, or the pro committee hearing and stuff. So what's this program up there at Mount Olive?
Well, it's pretty much as if you get a 60 piece, right?
60
if you get 60 days in the hole, you got to see the pro committee. Now, whatever it was for you to get that 60 days, they evaluate that and decide if you need to go back to the yard or you need to do the program and stay back here. And it can be a various of things. Like, you can be a nigga who goddamn got hit with wine too many times. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be one of them people who a motherfucker dropped a kite on you. You don't know who the fuck this person is. Yeah. And they fuck around, just snatch you up. And hey, you're a threat, put you on the program.
Now,
you see what I'm saying?
Program.
Back in the day, it was 18 months. Now it's a year. Okay. But you also, there's that loophole in there though, because if you back here and you fuck up or whatever, like that's why last time I was back here so long, because when you get them class 1 write-ups and shit, you can get restarted.
Yeah.
So you can get all the way up to level 3 or even level 4 where I'm at, and then get a class 1 write-up or something. And if it's, bad enough, or if they really don't like you or something, then they can restart you from 3. That's generous. Restart you from 3, or restart you back to 1 and move you back upstairs.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that 18-month or 12-month period, that year period, done transitions to 2 years, a year, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Now, who are the dudes back there that are on that D3 program? How many dudes? You know any of those guys that are back there?
The only one I really know that's still on there is Troop. Fucking everyone else got off for real, and they don't have them like downstairs and none of that shit no more. They're all upstairs now. So
what's that? Because I'd always heard stories, and there's a couple subscribers that have talked about being behind the glass or behind the wall or something downstairs.
Yeah, I've been behind there before. That's fucking horrible. Behind the glass is like how the regular cells. Remember how the regular cells are, right? Mm-hmm. Now they got 4 cells that have a glass box around that, and them cells are fucked. Like, bruh, them motherfuckers is fucked. You go in that bitch, but you got a big ass dent in the bed. Like, you can be laying on your bed, and the nigga in the cell next to you can be jumping on his bed and make your bed jump. You like,
so you can see each other?
No, you can't see each other. It's a regular cells. It's just a box around those cells that comes out. So when the COs like come and give you your tray and stuff, they gotta open that front door, pop that front door to give you your tray. You feel me? They just trying to isolate you from everybody else. Like, you only can fish with them niggas in that little joint. You can't fish with no one out in the pod unless you can slide it up out, and the door under the door be like that. So you can't even get a soup under that motherfucker. You struggling. A nigga can't even look out. You hear me? You back that bitch struggling. And the water and the toilets on those ones are timed, so you can't like continuously flush them. You feel me, man? It's just fuck that behind the glass, bro. Hey, fuck that. Hell no.
Because I mean, I've gotten, a little over 2 years in the whole time, but I was never, the only whole time I did up there was for that 15 days before I hit the yard, so I never got to experience being ad seg. Segregation up there. It was always at Huttonsville.
You better get your fishing game up. I know that. That's it. If you can't fish, you gonna starve. Yeah. Especially in the beginning of it. And you with niggas that's like trying to look out or whatever, because you got niggas like that, like, shit, you hungry? Like, because don't forget, people up there that's on the gram, they're on level 1, level 2 status. So that's, $15, $20 commissary that they can buy now, because you can't buy food on punitive. You know what I mean? You only buy fucking pens, papers, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't fish and niggas trying to look out, you gonna starve. You feel me? Like, shit, it took me a minute to know how to, slingshot and get that motherfucker around like shit. I have fishing lines that can go all the way to the door. You hear me?
I remember at Huttonsville, because it's 2 tiers, and we, after you'd be back there a while, you'd be able to fish off the 2 tiers because they'd face each other. So you'd have 15, 30 cells on each side facing each other. So we'd throw it off, get them hooked, and then pull it up, and then go right across. I don't know how many times CO's been walking with stuff dangling above their heads. They just never saw it because they didn't look up.
Yeah. See, here you got the ones, some that's cool and they don't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But then you got the other ones. They see that give me that, and then they up in your shit. You feel me? Like, man, what the fuck? And sometimes that's a thing that be like. Sometimes, I always preach to these motherfuckers back here, the COs, like the consistency. Like just now when I came out here, he was like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I need everything. I'm like, all right, boom. Then he's like, your armpits, lift your nut. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't, the only time I ever do that is for the CERT team. You know what I'm saying? Like, good. And especially because it's ones who don't work here back here all the time. So they do shit like that. And it's like, man, I understand you doing your job. I ain't trying to be like a real asshole, but I'm not lifting my nuts, bro. I'm not about to do that. Cause I mean, that's not something I do on a daily fucking basis. You know what I'm saying? I only know to do that when it's her team in here because they on some bullshit.
It comes maybe twice a year, knowingly once, but maybe twice.
You feel
That's
me?
it.
Straight like that. You feel me? So he was like,
Get seen twice.
yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, and he's like, man, all right, here. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I felt like I had to like talk down the child, like, man, you doing your job, man, but goddamn, understand, like, shit.
Now,
Nigga ain't trying to lift his nuts up. What the fuck?
when I was back there, I'd always hear a couple of dudes that have been back there always talk about this dude Frame. Is he like one of these top guys that's up there?
Yeah, he moved up again. Yeah, he up there. He yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah, I be sometimes on the shit list, man. It's a dude you don't want to be on this shit list, man.
Hey, I hear
No,
you, man. That's what I said.
he'll make your life hell if he want to. He fuck your shit up.
Once you get out, man, you already know what you're capable of.
We ain't got enough time to get into next section. We can get into it. But that boy can fuck your life up if he want to back here. He just bury you back here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some times, man. Like one thing I remember because I used to be on this fucking like I said on the shit list so much because I always motherfucking getting in trouble and shit. I remember one time that stuck out though is they bring this fucking this rat and shit into the pod that just got beat up, fucked him up pretty bad and shit, and nigga was telling and shit or whatever. So everybody when he came in, everybody screaming on him and shit, whatever. And one day they was pulling him out, and when it was pulling him out, one of the homies was talking crazy. You rat bitch, da 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 da. You feel me? And Frame was one of the ones that was taking him out though. You know what I'm saying? So he turns back around like a quick look and then leaves. But I'm guessing when he did that quick look, he just sees my face in the window because they came back. You feel me? They came back to my cell and he was like, cuff up. I'm like, man, cuff up. I'm laid back watching the TV and shit. This nigga talking about some cuff up. I'm like, cuff up for what? You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, you want to scream obscenities and shit? And motherfucking I'm like, man, I'm like, bro, I ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I heard you. I know it was you. I'm like, man, I ain't say shit. He's like, well, if it wasn't you, then who was it? I'm like, man, what I look like saying some shit like that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, then cuff up. I'm like, all right. So I cuffed up, right? As soon as he pops my door, the homie like, man, that shit was me, man. You know what I'm saying? So he goddamn uncuffed me, went, pulled him out, talked to him, and bring him back. And motherfucking the next day, Frame comes and he apologized. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, you know what I'm saying? I apologize for that. I can say that I fucked up on my end. You know what I'm saying? When have you ever heard me say that? I'm like, well, never. He's like, okay, then. Well, then you know I mean it. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm like, I had to tell him, like, shit, I'm back here. This one was on the program last time. I'm back here trying to do better. You feel me? Like, I'm taking the little classes and shit. And I, you know what I mean? But
the CEOs up there, the way I'm not gonna say all, majority of them handled themselves was a lot better than most of the ones at Huttonsville. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For you to be able to do that, you can. I mean, shout out Jonathan for being able to apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I can understand that. That's cool, but sometimes, boy, they be on some bullshit. You understand me? Hey, no cap. You hear me? Some fuck shit. You be like, God damn.
Now, how often are you allowed to get books back there while you're on in segregation?
Like say if you're buying them for me, I can get them all the time. But if it's coming from the library, twice a week.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
One of the main things, I've read a lot of books while I was back here in the hole. It's like you got to get in a routine. So it's like, how often do you work out a day while you're back here in the hole?
Every day.
Every day?
Sometimes except for Sunday. Oh, I bet. Yeah, except for sometimes on Sunday, but motherfucking I usually, you know how I do. I usually write music and come up with entrepreneur ideas for when I touch down. You know what I'm saying? I got to get to that bag. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they on me. They hitting the window and shit. I just want to tell you, man, I'm going to holler at you, motherfucker, next time we come out here, have a good time on your trip and shit. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the fam and shit. Kenya, that's my baby. Little Malia, my son, the kids. You know what I mean? Everybody just keep your head up, man, and I'm gonna stay doing the same, staying above water. You feel me?
All
So I'll holler at y'all until next time. All right, buddy.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, gone.